Hello, welcome, lovely people, welcome. So, am I audible? Am I visible? Is my audio video clear? Hello, Jasmine. Hello, and welcome. Can someone confirm? Is my audio and video, fine? Okay, thank you so much, Jasmine. Thank you for the confirmation. Hello, Sarah. Hey. Wow, Kyle, good morning. Thank you for the confirmation. Mm. So, thank you everyone for being here. I am so glad to have each and every one of you here. And since I'm seeing like new faces, so I'm going to start by introducing myself. I am Anisha Maheshwari, and I have been on Insight Timer for more than 2 years now. And I have like 30 plus tracks and seven courses here. So if you guys like throughout the life, if you feel like you resonate with me, my style, or my work, then I would love for you guys to check out my work. And if you would like to work further with me, in a one-on-one session type or in a group coaching type setup, then I also offer that. I basically help people with low self-esteem become the best version of themselves. So, how I do this is that I help them identify who they truly want to be, what is that best self that they want to become. And then we set like smart goals to gain more clarity of that vision and make a whole action plan so that you can reach that vision as well as be your best self in smaller ways in your daily life because that's what brings fulfillment and not just achieving some high goals, big goals that we set up for ourselves. And then I help them overcome any internal barriers to their path, whether it is a limiting belief, negative thought, overwhelming emotions, or unhelpful behavior. So I help them learn healthy ways to deal with it and fall in love with themselves along the way. So this is what I do. And if this resonates, if you're interested, then you are welcome to book a private session with me, or join my group coaching program, whatever feels like best for you. Hello, Sharon. Good morning. Good morning. Um, Good morning, Flo. Flo says, I have missed a lot of your sessions because the time clashes with my work. I hope you have been having success. Yes, I have been having lovely interaction with each and every one, in each and every live of mine. So this is our eighth live. So like we are doing this Wheel of Wisdom series, and I'm going to tell you about it in a minute. So yeah, they have been wonderful. And if any one of you, if you are new here and if you have missed previous like lives, then I have recordings and I also have written down summaries of each live. So you're welcome to, you know, message me to get access to them, or you can go to the link in my profile. So in the link tree in the about section of my profile, and you can either join my free community there. I post the recordings there, or you can access it through my YouTube channel. Anyway, that is comfortable for you. So, that being said, let me tell you what you are going to do in today's session, okay? And what we do in this Wheel of Wisdom series. So, over the past 8 years, I have been going through a journey of self transformation and, learning and growing and healing and everything. And over the spirit of time, I have read like 80 plus books in this time, and some of which, I have also made notes of the insights that I found very powerful, the practices that I found transformational. And what we do in the series is that I have a wheel. Okay, so we spin that wheel, and that wheel have the name of the books. Okay, so I have currently included 31 books, you know, just for the sake of it, like 31 days of the month. So that's why. And we rotate the wheel, and the wheel chooses a book. Okay, and then I go through my notes, and intuitively I choose some of the lines that I think would resonate and that I think or feel would, benefit everyone present here with dealing with whatever you are going through in your life. So we do that. And then we go through a practice either from the book, or if I feel inspired to, then I guide you through a meditation. And before the wheel thing, we also do a small meditation to settle ourselves in, to center, to ground, and then to open ourselves to the wisdom so that we receive what we need to. So, yeah, that's how the session goes. Eva says, "Good morning from Italy." Good morning, Eva. Okay, so this is like a morning time for most of you, right? Um, and I have been actually thinking about like experimenting with the time. So I know some of you like it's very early for you. Um, so I decided that I would, try a different time. So my next live would be at a different time. Okay. It is again, I'm doing these lives on alternate days. So it would be like day after tomorrow, but it would be at a different time. So for like, it would be 6 p.m. IST. That is Indian time. So maybe more people of you would find that suitable. Let's see, let's experiment and see. So, and Eva says, yes, the sessions are amazing, flow, very successful. I am so glad to hear that, Eva. Thank you so much for saying that and for, letting other people who are joining for the first time also know. Thank you. That is so sweet of you. Elena says, hi, Anisha and everyone. Hello, Elena. I am so glad to have you back. And I'm so glad to have so many people back, coming back again and again. That is beautiful. Okay. So now before we like spin the wheel and have like let the fun and wisdom begin, we're going to do a small meditation to settle ourselves and to open ourselves. So now I invite you all to get into a comfortable position. You can either sit, stand, lie down. It is up to you, whatever your body needs right now. Okay. So taking a comfortable position, settling in, maybe moving a little just to feel the support beneath you. Support from the wonderful Mother Earth. Settling into this present moment. Letting go of having the need to be anywhere else or to do anything else. And giving yourself the permission to arrive in this moment now. And now I invite you to place the palm of your hands together, like in a prayer position, feeling how does this feel like, in which hand do you feel the sensations are more dominant? Feeling the temperature, the texture of your hands touching each other. Very good. And now start to rub your hands together, picking up pace, rubbing your hands to generate warmth and heat. Rub it faster to get warm because we are soon going to touch a part of your body and transfer this warmth too. So rub your hands faster, feeling the warmth and the sensations, listening to the sound of rubbing. And when you feel that they are warm enough, you can place them on your head, on your forehead. So you can either place one of your hand or both of your hands on your forehead, feeling the touch. And now bring to mind that in the last 24 hours, how has your mind been functioning? What all it has been doing for you? Notice, has your mind tried to protect you from things going wrong by trying to cook up worst case scenarios and planning how you will deal with them? Or has your mind been into the past, trying to remember what has happened and trying to help you to become the version of yourself that you want to by not repeating the mistakes of your past? Or has your mind tried to help you do the task that you were doing more efficiently? I know we usually hate our minds for thinking so much and for giving and generating so much stress in our lives. But can you see, can you feel the intention of your mind? It is trying its best and doing what it is made to do with the intention to help you in some way. Can you say thank you to your mind for all it has done for you, all it has been trying to do for you for so long? As you feel your hands on your forehead, can you repeat those two simple words to your mind? Thank you. Thank you, mind. Thank you. Can you see how hard it has been working for you, and that too non-stop, without any break, always trying to make you feel good or to make you a better person or to protect you in some way. So, for the next few hours or moments, can you give permission to your mind to take a break and rest? You don't have to force it to stop working, but ask it, would you like permission? Would you like to rest for the next few moments? And don't worry, there is going to be a higher wisdom here to guide you so that it can rest. So, if you are open to it, can you say to your mind, I give you permission to take a small break and trust in the divine present here with me. I give you permission to take a small break and trust in the divine present here and now. Take a moment to communicate this to your mind in your own words. If you feel like, you can also massage your forehead as a physical sign and allowing it to physically also rest. If you feel like, you can also tap it, tap on your forehead, feeling every touch. And with each touch or movement, allowing your mind to just relax. And now lowering your hands and letting them rest in your lap. Just resting, physically relaxing your body and mentally also relaxing your mind. Each time you notice your body or your mind tensing up, you can take a deep breath in and let that tension go with the out breath. Relaxing more and more with each breath. And now that we have reached the end of this meditation, if you feel comfortable, then you can allow your mind to continue resting and trusting the higher wisdom to provide and to guide. It's okay. You can relax. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to be anywhere else for the next few moments. Now, whenever you feel ready, you can gently open your eyes, noticing the space and the objects around you. Coming back to this environment, and maybe one last time placing a hand on your head and saying thank you. It's okay to relax. And then lowering your hand. Hmm. Wonderful. Now you can drink some water if you feel like. Stretch your body, move your body. And if you feel called to, you can share your experience in the comments or click the hearts to let me know anything. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the hearts. Hmm. Kyle says, my mind didn't want to take a break. Okay, that's fine. But can you ask your mind what is it fearing would happen if it takes a break? Caitlin Loju, welcome, welcome, Caitlin. I am so glad that you could tune in. Guys, Caitlin is another wonderful teacher on Site Timer, and she has these amazing lives where she, does crochet mindfully. So, you know, please check her out as well. There are so many amazing teachers here, and thank you for the hearts. Eva says, so loving and beautiful to approach our minds like this. I'm glad that this resonates with you, Eva. And yes, we are, most of the times, we are like, you know, so harsh with our minds, and we don't recognize that minds do so much for us. And we, take them for granted or even curse them for functioning the way they do. And yes, I know that there's this side, where things get out of control and they become our master instead of a tool to use, a very efficient tool. So yeah, sometimes I think minds like it when we give them thanks. Kyle says it said it wanted to learn from a higher self. Do you think that the mind and the higher self can be connected in harmony? Yeah, yeah, I think so. Why not? Okay, so that is what we are going to invite here now today, a higher self. And just like, Kyle said that his mind didn't want it to take a break, it's very natural that your mind, some of yours mind might have also responded to it like that, they are fearful that if, you know, they take a break, then everything else is going to fall apart. And all the time they are trying so hard to just, you know, manage this, control that, or, figure this out, solve this problem, and so on. So, yeah, so they think, it's so hard for us when we have so many things to do to take a break. And so it is for our mind. But that is also true that things when things get overwhelming and we have a lot of stuff to do, then we need a break. That's when we can work so efficiently. And that is also true for our minds, you know, that they always have so much to do. So yeah, giving them that break is like, turning off our devices once in a while so that they can rest. So then when we again use them, they function, efficiently. So yeah, so that's the thing. Okay, so now we are going to bring in our higher self, as Kyle says, and bring in that wisdom from the universe. Okay. Hmm. And let your mind be in the back seat and just chill for this live. Okay. we love our minds, and not but, and they deserve a break, right? So we have this wheel, okay? It has books, beautiful books filled with wisdom. We are going to turn this wheel, and universe, divine, God, higher self, angels, whatever you believe in, we're going to invite them in to guide us and, you know, give us whatever would help us most in our life so that we can live with more ease by applying that wisdom. So, as I rotate this wheel, you are welcome to, you know, ask whatever you need guidance for. So, think of something that you need guidance for, a question that you want, universe to answer, God to answer, something that you are struggling with that you need some advice on. So bring all of it in. You can type it in the comments or like, you know, yeah, type it in the comments. No, don't fill your mind with anything else. Okay, just type it. So take a moment to think, what do I need guidance for? And if you are just open to whatever, you know, universe has for you, then type I am open to receive. So yeah, take a moment until I will rotate this wheel. Okay. Okay, I will read the name of the book for you, you know. So, the book that came for today is The Mindful Way Through Depression by Mark William, John T. Steele, Zindel Siegel, and John Kabat-Zinn. This book helped me a lot when I was going through depression, and I hope that, if anyone else is here who is going through the same thing, or these books have so much, not just the topic that they mention, but a lot of wisdom. So even if it is not something that you're struggling with, know that what you need will come through from this book. So Eva has written down, you know, judgment, resentment are the topics that came to me. Okay, so this is something that Eva needs, help with. And, until I like open the book and just intuitively find the lines, you're welcome to take your time to just write down what do you need guidance for, what you need help with. Why are you here listening to me, tuning into these lives? Yes, Cecilia, of course, of course. Okay, let me write it. Mm, give me a second. Okay. And by the way, I also like upload, recordings and summaries and the title of the book as well as the excerpts, the paragraphs that we read from these books, everything in my community as well as on my YouTube videos, because I upload the recordings there. So you're welcome to check them out there, and if you miss any part of it or if you want to revisit. Okay, so let me just again, keep on writing whatever you need guidance for until I open the book. So yeah, keep them coming. Because by saying out loud, we let the universe know that what do we want, help with, instead of just keeping it here and just burdening our minds. Hmm. Okay. Okay, so I will read the lines that have come through. Unhappiness itself is not the problem. It is an inherent and unavoidable part of being alive. Rather, it's the harshly negative views of ourselves that can be switched on by unhappy moods that entangle us. When we are unhappy, the effect of that mood on our body can bias the way we evaluate and interpret things around us without our being even the slightest bit aware that this is happening. Okay, so, okay, first let me read it. So, Caitlin says, I'm excited for these excerpts. I am blessed with bipolar depression and use a lot of mindfulness to stay in the level zone as much as possible, or use it to watch for activations either way. Firstly, I'm sending so much healing to you, Caitlin, and I am, you know, so happy to hear that, how you are using mindfulness to know that when you are out of that window of tolerance, and, when those depressive thoughts or that mood is getting the most of you. So it is very important, that awareness is the first step. So it is very important to recognize not only just depression, but any emotion. So when we are getting triggered, usually we get swept by it and we are not, looking at it. We are in it. We are in that swirl of emotions and thoughts and everything. And when we are in that, we just react out of it without realizing that, this is our mood or this is our thoughts that are making us react in this way, maybe snapping at somebody or not doing the things that are, helpful for us, or, isolating ourselves or whatever it is. So when we react and when we are in that swirl and react out of it, you know, then later, and when we do that, then later we then judge ourselves for it, for reacting in the way we did. We criticize ourselves looking back that, how could I do that to anyone else or to myself? Or I promised myself or I committed to myself that I would not do this anymore. So then we add another layer of suffering to it by criticizing ourselves for it. And then the cycle goes in on and on and on. And, that mode of, I don't know, negativity or unpleasantness just strengthens and builds upon itself. Whereas if we build, mindfulness, if in the moment when we are getting triggered, when we have some thoughts about it, we start feeling that discomfort. I'm using the word discomfort because it can be any emotion: anger, anxiety, depression, or, depression is more of a like longer lasting mood, but I would use the term sadness for the emotion. So, yeah, when, you know, that is getting triggered, and when we notice that thing in the moment that, I am thinking that way again, if we have identified our triggers, we would know that this is the way I think when I go down the spiral. So, when we become aware of this is again happening, my mind is again going into that cycle, and that would not do me any good. When we recognize that trigger, then in that moment we have a choice whether we want to continue believing that story and feeding into that story, or whether we want to think in a way that is helpful or do things that are helpful. And again, it's like easier said than done. But when we will like keep on practicing this, then it would become easy and we will be able to catch ourselves earlier before going into that spiral, because it becomes very hard to come out of that spiral when we are in it. But when we are just going into it, when we are stepping towards it, if we just recognize then and stop, then we can, gain our power and behave in a way in which, our best self would have liked to. So, Kyle says, I find myself blaming my mind for the decisions I make, but do all decisions come from the mind? Is the conditioning I take on from poor decisions? Is the conditioning I take on from poor decisions a fault of the mind? Caitlin has replied to Kyle. Kyle, why does there have to be fault? Exactly. Exactly. I agree, because usually we are trying to find someone or something to blame things upon, to find the why. And sometimes why question actually make us go more and more down into that spiral. Like, why me? Or why did this person did that? Or why did this person said that? Like, why is this happening to me? So these why questions, or trying to blame it on to something else, or blame it on to our own mind even, you know, we get lost. Again, we are getting lost in the thoughts by doing this. And actually, thinking sometimes, and most, like, many of my clients say that I want to get rid of the thinking. I want to not think those negative thoughts. And, thinking is like, I want to stop it. But, thinking is a very subtle mechanism of our psyches to not feel. Because when we are thinking, our awareness is in that, our attention is on that, and that prevent us from feeling what is going on, feeling the truth of us, that what is going on with us, because it is unpleasant. So we somehow, no matter how negative your thoughts are, but still it seems better to, indulge ourselves in the thinking than to feel. So, hmm, Kyle says, so where does the decision come from if you don't want to use fault? Okay, so you are trying to figure out, um, why do we make certain decisions? Like, um, what are the factors that influence our decisions? Are you trying to figure that out, Kyle? Here, is that what's your question? What your question is? Okay, so Kyle says yes. Do they come from the mind or somewhere else? So here's the thing. Yes, of course, our mind is involved in it. I we cannot do that without our mind. We are going to analyze things, and then we are going to do stuff, or we are going to use our mind in some or other manner, to, even if the decision, maybe it was intuition that, gave us the answer to behave in a certain way or a manner. And but still our mind are going to be involved in planning on how to execute that thing, whatever decision we have come through. So our mind are always involved in some other way, and our mind have been conditioned by other people, or by societies and everything. So there has been a lot of factors that goes behind a decision. And decision making is one of the function of our mind. So I would say that yes, decision come from there, but also decisions come from other sources, that gut feeling of ours, that intuition. Or if you have come to a decision through, meditating or connecting with some other source, then that's also some places that it can come from. So yeah, there are many factors in that. Um, and the question that I think would be helpful to ask here is that, and sometimes we want to know that whether this decision is going to be the right one for us, but I guess there is no right decision, because it's only after we apply it then we get to see, ex post facto, that whether that decision was helpful, and whether it served us, or whether it was, you know it led us into a different path. I won't say wrong, because um every decision is going to take our trajectory of life into some or other thing, some or other way. So I won't say wrong, but yeah, in a different direction than we wanted to go. So yeah. Kai says, thank you. Do you think God have a hand in the decisions for us to learn wisdom from him? Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. All I can say is that there is always, if we look back, there is always, something to learn. And moreover, we always get to evolve in some way based on whatever we have chosen for ourselves. So we get to evolve in some or other way. Now, whether it is God that sent that decision or made us do that, whether it is our soul that attracted that particular lesson into our life or something. But yeah, when we choose something, I think, you know, we get to evolve in some or other way. Okay, I missed a message from Caitlin before. Um, loving, loving everything you said, so eloquent and beautifully said. Such good info. I am so glad that you are enjoying these lives, Caitlin. I so appreciate you being here. Guy says, yes, I do. Thank you for your honesty and pure responses. Thank you for being here and, asking what was on your mind. Okay, coming back to the lines that we read. So, yeah, so I guess like I covered it, when here it is said that when I mentioned that, reacting out of that mood, that spiral that is getting made either because of our thoughts or because of our initial emotions. And depression, of course, comes because of a lot of causes. There are genetic and there are, biochemical and all of these things happening. But in relation to mindfulness or in relation to our mind, um yeah, that initial unhappiness, then that later turns on into a whole like long-term mood. um that happens because again we didn't catch ourselves initially. And of course, if we would ask people who are going through depression that what was that initial point from which you started getting depressed, then they would not be able to find that. So that is like a very common thing. So don't like um now don't like criticize yourself for not applying mindfulness at that point. But here's the thing, if we, mindfulness can come very handy when we are dealing with any unpleasant emotion. And yeah, we can identify our triggers, and when we are getting triggered, then stopping ourselves, like not stopping, like pausing and recognizing that yes, I'm getting triggered right now, observing all of that, whatever is happening, the thoughts, the emotions and everything, and then choosing how do I want to behave now, you know what would be most helpful, what would fulfill my needs right now. If I'm feeling low, then yes, it's okay, I don't want to work right now, even though that is a helpful behavior. But maybe what I need right now is a hug from a loved one, or just eating something nice, not emotional eating or binge eating, not like indulging ourselves as such, going into like full blown self indulgence and just sitting on the couch and saying, yeah, I need that. But truly, what would I need right now, and what is a healthy way of fulfilling that need? So, yeah, going through that whole process. And it takes practice, it takes guidance, and a lot of things. So, hmm, that was my take from these lines. And if like any one of you would like to mention anything from the lines, from what I have said, from the discussion, in the comments, you guys are welcome to. Or otherwise, I would move on to the next thing from this book. And yes, if you guys need help with whatever, like the whole mechanism that I have told you, so learning that skill, then again, you're welcome to work with me. I, you know, help with, I have like a whole package specifically for that, dealing with our inner obstacles and learning those skills of mindfulness, acceptance, compassion, and yeah, dealing more gracefully with all of these things. So if you are interested, then you can message me or check out the link tree in my profile. Okay, since there are no messages, I would move on to the next thing from this book. Let me see if there is a practice or something like that. Mm, okay, I think that this is the continuation of this, so I will read this. So the author says, our reaction to unhappiness can transform what might otherwise be a brief passing sadness into persistent dissatisfaction and unhappiness. The problem with persistent and recurring depression is not getting sad in the first place. When we react to our own negative thoughts and feelings with aversion, the brain circuitry involved in the physical avoidance, submission, or defensive attack, that is, the avoidance system of the brain, is activated. Once this mechanism is switched on, the body tenses as if it were either getting ready to run or bracing itself for an assault. When we react negatively with aversion to our own negative emotion, treating them as enemies to be overcome, eradicated, and defeated, that's when we get into trouble. So here's the thing, that the emotions that we call negative, so they are not negative, like in their essence, they are not negative. They carry vital information and they have functions and they enrich our life, make our life full, because unless we experience the unpleasant, we cannot like fully appreciate the present. And there needs to be vividness. You would not like to see a whole movie with just one emotion, that just elicit one emotion. So yeah, life would get monotonous. So emotions are the juice of our life. So they are not bad inherently. But when we start to, like react negatively to them with aversion, we try to avoid them, we try to suppress them, we try to control them, get rid of them, that's when the problem arises. And actually, that's when most of the, normal emotions become a disorder. So I'm also a psychologist. So yeah, so delving deeper, like a little bit into that. So anxiety disorders are not just having anxiety, because anxiety, everyone have anxiety and that is okay. But it becomes a disorder when we get like when we start to become anxious about getting anxious, when we start to avoid those places that causes anxiety, when we when we get afraid of all that happening, that when we start feeling afraid that I might get a panic attack in that situation, so I try to avoid that situation. So when we start becoming fearful of those negative emotion and try to avoid them, you know have that aversive reaction towards them, that's when it becomes a problem. Caitlin Dojo says emotions add flavor and keep things interesting. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, they are the juice, they are the flavors of our life. Otherwise, our life, you can see them, you can see your life as a black and white movie. So emotions add the colors, the flavors, and everything into our life. And yes, I know, I know emotions can be, it can be sometimes hard to feel those emotions. And yeah, I feel you, but The solution is not to get rid of them. The solution is not to become a robot without emotions. Kyle says, is it really a disorder, which means there is something wrong or implies that some part of the mind isn't working right? So, disorders, that is like a whole topic in itself to delve into right now. And a disorder, there are like many for and against things that, should we label a person with it, should we not? And And to be honest, I am not a clinical psychologist. I am just a counseling psychologist, so I don't deal with that clinical population. So I think that it is not my expertise, or it would not be fair if I delved into that thing more deeply. So yeah, I would respectfully decide to not delve into that and answer that question, if that's okay. Caitlin says, yeah, accepting the whole spectrum of of emotions, especially the extreme ones, can be intense, but it's a part of our experience here. Yes, exactly. And it takes a lot of, again, practice because we haven't been taught these skills, right? It's not that they are difficult, it is difficult to learn to be with your inner world. But the thing is that in schools, we have been we have been educated in a way that we have been made to learn the facts and stuff like that of the world, but we have never been taught to know our inner world, to learn to, regulate our emotions, to be with our mind and like use it in a more, I don't know, helpful manner and not go into the overthinking and stuff. So we have not been taught these, these kind of skills, and that's why it takes practice to learn them. And yeah, and that's what I am hoping to share with others, through my sessions and stuff. Because, yeah, it takes time. And not time, time is not the right word. It takes practice, I think, to learn these skills. But they can be learned and they can make a whole lot of difference in your life. Trust me. Otherwise, I won't be sitting here. Okay. So, coming back to the lines, um, okay. I think let's read it like different set of lines because it is repeating the same points over and over. Okay, so we're going to like read another set of lines, hoping that that would help in some way. And I'm hoping whatever we have like discussed until now has been helpful. So if it has been, you can press hearts or tell me in the comments, so I know that I'm not just rambling on my own. And uh, wasting time. Okay, thank you for the hearts. Thank you for letting me know that whatever we are discussing here, covering here, is getting to you in some way or other. Okay, mm, give me a moment. I will see that if you can do some practice. Mm, see, let's see. Okay, we can do this. Mm, let me try to figure out another practice, maybe. Yeah, there are a lot of like formal mindfulness exercises. I'm looking for something like that would help with the point that we have made until now. Okay, this would, yeah, this is wonderful. Okay. Hmm. So, okay, we have a comment. Kyle says, I don't think there is any disorder, and these diagnosis makes the individual something is wrong with their mind when fact the problem is with society that doesn't understand when the mind is coming into an awakening with God instead of allowing the individuals to work through it with God. The normal in this world is to prescribe medication which only disrupts the connection with God more. Okay, thank you for sharing that thought. And and I know that many people would relate to that and many people would not. And hmm, uh, personally, I don't have like anything to say into that because I am seeing like both the pros and the cons of it. Sometimes people feel understood, you know, of course, like at different stages of our life, at different stages, of our evolution, we need different things. So sometimes a label is actually helpful for people to know that I am not the only one, because sometimes it happens that we feel very isolated, that we feel that, what is happening with me, I don't understand that. So sometimes these labels help them, feel understood, and sometimes they are limiting in a way, they are like, um that I only this, I am so much more than this, or yeah. So there are like different point of views, and I'm okay with both. Like I am like, I understand both. I am like more objective about this. I don't feel like I resonate with one thing more or another. I just feel whatever the individual needs at this point of time, in this point in their life, is what is best for them. So yeah, not getting into the opinions of the mind in this thing. Okay. Hmm. Kyle says, thank you. I think they limit and give a false sense of self. And yes, that is a true point. And there is other side also. So yeah, again, whatever the individual needs, you know. Okay. So let's see, where were we? Okay, so let me tune into my intuition and see what comes through again. Okay, instead of me trying to choose something. Because that's the purpose of this, letting my mind rest and letting something larger than me work through me and send you something that would be helpful in your life. Okay, so a practice has come through. It is a setting meditation named mindfulness of breath and body. So are you guys up to for a meditation? Would you guys like to go through a meditation, or would you guys like me to read lines, like few lines? Caitlin says that may be true for you, but yeah, that is not true for others. Thank you, Anisha, for your words on that. Moving on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, of course, everyone needs different things, and I am no one to say that this is right or this is wrong, and or this is, since this is true for me, this is true for others. So yeah, um, not going either way, and not saying that this is right or that is wrong. Teresa Mary says, yes, I agree with being blessed with bipolar and ADHD combined. The bipolar has helped me develop deep compassion and understanding. There is an ADHD tribe, instant connection and acceptance. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, that experience and how um, that has helped you, grow and connect. And yeah, that is true. Sometimes we do feel like I need something. I like, if there's this thing that suffering becomes a doorway to connection and compassion. So sometimes we need that, okay, I am suffering, and there are all these people who are going through the same thing, and that cultivates a feeling of connection. And that also cultivates a feeling of compassion that, if I am suffering, maybe other person is. So let's be kind to that person. And yeah, um, let's, after suffering, we understand, that suffering at a raw level, at a feeling level. So yeah, that is also something that is a pro of the label. So can there are pros and cons for everything. So what works for you is the best for you. Caitlin says, "Ooh, meditation sounds good for me." Eva says, "I'm down for a meditation." Kimura says, "I'm for a meditation." Thank you, Kimura, for participating, and everyone for sharing your views and letting me know what would you like to do next. Okay, Caitlin says, "Yes, the Neuro Spicy Club is so fun to be in." Teresa says, "And of course, meditation is a big part of my mental well being." Yeah, 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 meditation is a big part of my life as well. So, hmm. And here are 108 meditators. So, thank you, each and every one of you, for being here, for being present, for sharing, what helps you or what you believe in here. I appreciate it. And nothing is wrong that you say. So, you are all welcome to share and speak your truth in a kind manner, in a respectful manner, because this is a safe space, right? Caitlin says, "Oh, yay, great number 108." Yeah, since so this is our eighth live Wheel of Wisdom series, and in each live, I have gladly, luckily noticed that 108 numbers. So yeah, I am feeling supported by the universe. Okay, so this is going to be like more of a simple practice, not something that we talked about, but yeah, still a meditation is always like something helpful. So we will go into that, and I am going to read and guide, okay, through this. So not cooking something of my own, so not guiding you through my own meditation, but something from this book. So sit in a comfortable posture. Coming to this present moment. When you feel that you have settled to some degree, then begin by feeling your breath moving in and out of your body, either at the belly or at the nostrils. Noticing your breath moving in and out of your body. Continue to observe your breath as it is. as you focus on a specific part of your body, breathing, now intentionally allow the field of awareness to expand around the breath to include various sensations throughout the body, whatever they are. Noticing your body as a whole, sitting and breathing. You may even find that you get a sense of the breath moving throughout the body. Continue to being aware of this wider sense of a body as a whole, breathing air in and out. Continue to be aware of your breath in a particular part of your body or your body, breathing as a whole. Feeling your sitting body breathing. And of course, you might notice your mind wandering repeatedly away from the breath. Keep in mind that this is a natural tendency of the mind and is in no way a mistake or a sign of failure. So, whenever you notice that your attention has drifted away from the sensations in the body, you might want to let it register. That to be aware of the fact means that you are already back and awake to what is going on in the mind. So, congratulate yourself on catching your mind wander and bring your attention back to the sensations of breathing. Noticing how does it feel like to be in this breathing body. And now bringing your awareness to the surface beneath you, feeling supported by Mother Earth, and now, one last time, becoming aware of your body from head to toe, feeling how does it feels like to be in this body right now. And now, if you feel ready, you can expand your awareness to the surface and to the space around you. You can open your eyes and notice your body in this space. You can even look at your body like your body parts, your hands in this space, just noticing how does it feels like to be in this space, in this body, breathing. And now, whenever you feel ready, you can just rub your hands, place it over your eyes, and gently lower your hands and opening your eyes as you come out of this meditation. Hi, Samya. It is so nice to have you back here. Thank you for joining. You guys can hydrate yourself, drink some water, and if you would like to, you can share your experience of the meditation. And to be honest, I did started with guiding you through the meditation, but I ended up and adding my own flavors and some things to it because yeah, I was not able to follow like the perfect structure of the meditation in the book. So, yeah, so that's me being honest. And thank you, Samya, for sharing that it was grounding for you. And I am so glad that you joined in. Um, Neeta says relaxing. Thank you. Thank you, Neeta, for being here and for sharing that. I appreciate it. Thank you for the hearts. Eva says, wow, I feel so calm, expansive, and experience a feeling of vitality and lightness running through my body. Wow. I am so glad that you are having such a beautiful experience. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so I guess we have covered what we were supposed to. That is, read a few lines, do a little practice. And Tashana says, Grand Rising, I just got here. Thank you, Tashana. I'm so glad that you were able to join in. Caitlin says, beautiful. So, for those of you who have just joined, um, don't worry. I record these meditations or the whole sessions. So if you missed, like, you know, the previous part of this session or the previous, wisdom of wheel live events, and if you are here right now, you were able to join, you saw this, then I guess you were meant to be here and to receive the message. So I would invite you to, check out the recordings. And for that, to access them, you can message me or you can directly access them through the link tree in my profile, in the about section of my profile. So I have a community there. I, post the summaries there as well as I post the whole recordings there. Or you can access it through my YouTube channel. So I have that. I post the recordings there as well. So, yeah, these are some ways you can access that. And if you would like to work with me personally, then I would be honored to. And the offerings that I like, the offer is that I offer a personalized meditation session. So if you would like to like, process whatever is going through in your life, either it is a struggle that you're going through or something that you're trying to cultivate, then I would be happy to, book a free discovery call with you. Like you can book that and we can talk about it, and then I can guide you through a meditation personalized to your needs to help you process whatever is going on in a healthy manner. Or if you would like to, or if you are someone, who have low self-esteem and who is working to become their best self, to become the best version of themselves, then I have a whole, set of packages. So I help you find out what truly matters to you, like what would bring true fulfillment in your life, not just the success that society has told you, but what means like what you want deep within your heart, how you want to be in this life. And yeah, once we discover that, we like make a whole, we do goal setting, we like make a whole action plan so that you can reach the highest level, as well as you're working through the process you can be your best self, be that kind of a person that you want to become right now and not wait for it in some future. And yeah, and then as you face internal barriers in this process, I also help you through like developing the skills of mindfulness, acceptance, and compassion. Befriending our current self is very important in our journey to become our best selves. We cannot hate ourselves into this. So, yeah, I help you cultivate all of these skills so that you can overcome any obstacle, like your overcome, overwhelming emotions or negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, or, unhelpful behaviors. So, yeah, that is the whole process that I guide you through. So, if that sounds something like, you are interested in, then you're welcome to book a free discovery call with me, and we can get on the call and discuss about it, or you can directly book the sessions if you are up for it. So yeah, that's how you can work with me. And if you found today's session helpful, then I would really appreciate any donation, because these donations help me, do these lives more often, put in all the energy, time, work, and everything into these. And uh yeah, they help me offer these things for free. So thank you so much for being here and for participating in the wonderful discussion. And yeah, please check out my work if you feel called to. Thank you so much, Stark, for the donation. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting my journey and my work and helping these offerings become available to you know, so many people. Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for the donation. I really appreciate it. It is very kind and generous of you guys to support our work, to be here, to listen, and to donate. That means a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jacqueline. Okay, so I will end this live now. And again, you can access the recording. You can message me or directly through the link tree. Okay, bye bye. Take care, everyone. And I will see you day after tomorrow. So we have another live, and I'm experimenting with a different time. So let's see, you know, if that time suits other people more. Okay, thank you for being here. And thank you for the donations and for the interactions. Love you guys. Sending you so much healing and love. Bye bye. Eva says lots of gratitude. Thank you, Eva, for being here.